Howdy, and welcome back to my Let's Play series. This is Casey, and this should be episode 12. So, last episode, I moved the boat in and collected some oil and started refining it into fuel. Fuel is worth, I think, 10 times the amount of energy that oil is. So, if you plan on burning it in anything, converting it costs a little bit of energy, but you get so much more back that it's just not even funny. So, since then, I've cleaned up a little bit. Straightened up my tanks a little bit and added a little bit of glass so that I could see in the levels. And I've currently got my refinery unhooked because I'm going to be working on a new way of powering the refinery and as well as other things. So you may notice that I have some waterproof pipes running through here. Water from down here, which used to power the hobbyist steam engine that was up there, or that was up here. A gold waterproof pipe that's going down, and I added a sub-basement access down here. So this gold waterproofing pipe doesn't actually go anywhere yet. And then I have another waterproof pipe from over here from the fuel. So all three of these are heading up to that dirt and rock structure you saw just a brief moment ago. This is basically me just making sure that I can fit my boiler and a steam turbine in here and have enough room left. It's going to be a little bit tight, but I think we've got it. So, and you may also notice that I've taken out the solar panel here because hopefully by the end of this episode I won't be wanting for electricity. So first thing, I need a liquid fueled firebox. So I need a fire charge, some steel plates, iron bars, furnace, and a bucket. Oh, that's easy enough for one. And furnaces, I took out the furnaces that were over here. So I'll need another furnace, since you need one furnace per block. So that'll give me 4. Give me some tin to make some buckets. 1, 2, and 3 makes 4. And some iron grates. Iron grates use the same recipe as a fence, but with iron instead. So how many do I need? 2 each, so I need 8 total. That produces 16. Do I have iron grates still? Don't think I do. So 16, that should be good for that. So iron grates, bucket, furnace, so fire charge, and steel plates. I moved the rolling machine that was here back to my temporary base and did the necessary rolling and creation of steel back at my temporary base. They just don't really work all that well here. So, and need fire charges. Fire charges are themselves can be made by blaze powder, gunpowder, and charcoal or coal. I'm sure I'll find a use for fire charges somewhere. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I can go up here and replace the dirt with the so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Huh. Oh, it may not register as a fuel box until I have that up there done. So I've got enough space for, oh, it's already in here, for 12 of the high pressure. So for that I just need 2 steel plates aligned vertically. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. And I'll need those steel plates for other things here in just a second. So knock out the rest of this cobblestone that's above it. And should be, once I get all 12 down, it'll recognize that it's a proper configuration, snap together, and now I have a steam boiler. I'm not too certain how well that redstone powered pump will work on this, but I'm going to try it for now. Those may be some famous last words that you'll hear, but it seems like I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's too much slower than an aquatic accumulator. So normally I would use an aquatic accumulator, but due to the glitching that is happening, c'est la vie. Okay, time for the first test of, I guess, compatibility. Got the steam boiler filled with water. Now I'm going to try to move the boat forward. Knock on wood, the boat or the boiler should still be filled with water afterwards. Looks like we have a block that's not touching a frame somewhere. Okay, I believe I found the issue. Every block of the boiler was touching a frame, except for this one right here, because for some reason I just forgot that it had to or something, I don't know. So, oh, should be able to put a frame here, and that one has the back, so it should be allowed to touch it that way. Try this again. And now we're moving with the boiler. So that program should only move us 3 spaces forward. So 2, and now the 3rd. And we've still got water in our boiler. So since the boiler didn't reset the water, it shouldn't have reset anything. So knock on wood, that means it should be able to keep fuel and should be able to keep heat, which is the important thing. And I've previously tested it and it's worked, but frames, mod objects on frames tend to work most of the time. Just every so often you'll have a row of blocks that are just gone, or you'll every so often can't log in because it crashes every time you look at something. And there's my golems over there supplying me with cactus for waterproofing and really anything else you want cactus for. As I start moving farther away, I'll pick up the golems and move them back over here. So the farm's sort of been neglected a little bit since then. Okay, so we have a boiler that can move. So since I like being able to see this, I may work on some other way of connecting the steam turbine to the boiler, because I could simply put a frame right here. Let me see how that looks real fast. So frame here and here. I can still get in here and actually interact with it, but its whole left side should be good for a boiler. Okay, we'll try that for now. Just, I don't know. This is some of the awkwardness of trying to move objects with frames. But, so anyway, let's get the steam turbine going, or at least built. A steam turbine is hugely expensive in iron and steel because you need turbine rotors, which are made from 3 turbine discs, which are made from 8 turbine blades surrounded by a block of steel. So let's start with the turbine housing. Each 3 blocks will need 4 blocks of steel with a steel plate in the sides, and you need 12. So steel plate in the sides. Grab the block of steels that and I need 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I was worried there for a second because I needed those for the rotors, but I only need 3, not 4. So should be able to place this. And I needed 2 more frames up here because I cannibalized it. And our upside down smiley face lets us know that the steam turbine is ready. The steam turbine basically acts like a steam engine. It can take in steam, produce EU when it has a rotor in here, and it will actually output out water. So this way you don't have to worry as much about uh, supplying it with water. If all you're running it on is a steam turbine, the steam turbine will turn the steam back into water and put it back into the boiler. So that should be a little bit of an added measure of safety there. So we have a steam turbine. Let's go ahead and make our rotor. So I need 24. Have, oh, yes. And 24. And I just surround the block of steel like so. I get 1, 2, 3 disc. And I get a rotor. And should just be able to sneak up here and put the rotor in. Now, as this works, it's going to take damage, and eventually I'll have to replace that with another rotor. But the time frame on that, especially on a single player world that I don't leave running most of the time, will I it is a consumable, but it is a very slow consumable. So it should be ages before I need a new one of those. I believe they last for days when running, days real life when running on a server. So we have Steam, we have EU from Steam. Now we need somewhere to store all that. Now this produces a lot of EU. I believe it's medium voltage. Let me just go look that up real fast before I do something I regret and I lead you astray. Yes, the steam turbine will produce 100 EU a tick, which puts it well within the range of medium voltage. So use the minimum stone to convert some gold into diamonds. And alright, those don't stack. So we get 4 of those. Should have some refined iron. Could have used a little bit more, but so once that cooks up, I will make a machine block so that I can make an MFE. So I'm working on that. Can make some not needed gold for ages. Now let's see. FE needs 4. So insulate it once, then insulate it twice. My inventory is getting just a little bit packed. So refined iron, make a machine block. Machine block surrounded by gold cable, and also surrounded by energy crystals. And I get an MFE. So let's see. That should be touching a frame quite well. So I'll just lean in here. And I've got an MFE outputting down, so that I don't get my medium voltage anywhere near everything that's going to explode. I will put a low voltage transformer. Okay, that's the big thing that's going to be using the steam, but I like being self-sufficient, as you can guess. So one last thing I want to work on is a industrial steam engine. So the industrial steam engine requires 3 steam plates, a piston, glass, and steel gears, which are stone gears surrounded by steel ingots. So refinery, industrial steam engine, then I can pump oil into this. Suppose I could do that right now, and pull fuel out of this. Now the steam engine should produce, I believe, 8 megajoules a tick, well above the 1 point something that the hobbyist was producing on its own fuel, and the 2 megajoules a tick that it would produce if I were feeding it steam from a steam engine, or from a steam boiler. So I will real fast wire that up off camera and get back with you once I'm ready to fire the engine. Okay, welcome back. Just did a really quick logic check to make sure that the boat could still move forward. Wired up my refinery again. So I've got oil coming out, being put into the refinery, and then once the industrial steam engine gets steam, it'll power the refinery, and I can put it into my tank right here for fuel. Now, one last thing, I need to actually pump fuel into my engine. I just realized I hadn't set that up. It's easy enough. So now, redstone engine will put fuel into this pipe. Pipe will put fuel into the boiler. And we've got fuel. We've got fuel and it immediately starts burning. For some random reason I was expecting that to get a full bucket first. So it starts burning, and once the temperature reaches 100 degrees Celsius, which famously is the temperature at which water will turn to steam at normal atmospheric pressure, our water will start being consumed and we will start getting steam. So we're very rapidly getting 16 buckets of fuel. If I really wanted to, I could hurry that up with actual buckets, but I'm not in any rush. And I'm not sure exactly how much fuel is being burnt every time this icon resets. I know 1 bucket of fuel should last about a minute on a code steam boiler, and about 8 minutes on a full one, maybe even a little bit longer. A full 12 HP high pressure tank. So we are almost to the magical temperature in which we can start getting steam. Once we do that, I move over here so you can hopefully see the... Okay. We are at that magical temperature. We are getting steam. Go over here immediately. Why is it not outputting out steam? Okay, well, it looks like the redstone engine is keeping up with the water demands. So that is a little bit of a concern off. Is it filling this up first? No. So we are over halfway. I have a random cow. No steam. Well, let's... Not sure what the issue with that was. What the heck is going on here? Let's try sealing. Okay, it's now accepting steam and using steam to power the refinery. Now that we have steam powering the refinery, we should very quickly start burning through, well, not very quickly, it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, and you die. Sorry, takes a lot of time, so this is full. Let's go ahead and put our router back in here, or rotor, and our gauge shows that we're now producing energy, and our rotor is now taking damage. So it looks like it's going through the steam very quickly. So this should want to use more steam than this can actually produce. I'm hoping that there's some sort of intelligent steam routing so that I keep getting steam down here. Okay. And from past experience, steam engines want to hover around the halfway mark. So, not sure why I'm not getting any images of steam coming down here, but it's supplying itself with steam just fine. So our colors are indicating that we're getting power, and apparently variable amounts of power, but power nonetheless. And we're currently getting about 5 megajoules of power. Got a little bit of a back buffer, and the steam, it also acts as a back buffer, but it can only convert some of that steam to megajoules at so fast of a rate. Okay, well, let's see how our steam boiler is doing for this, working at 60% efficiency, and this is hovering about half. So it looks like this is actually fairly intelligently routing steam to the engine down there and giving this what's left over. So it's taking a little bit of damage. Let's see how fast we're charging up our MFE. MFE is, wow, that's blazing. I may not have really considered just how much energy I'm using here. So, well, let's go ahead and charge up everything we can. No use wasting energy. But I believe our very next issue is going to be coming up with more industrial craft things to use this wonderful, wonderful amount of energy that we're getting. Because really nothing that we're using is using more than, I mean, I was quite happily using solar panels, so this is a little bit of a jump from 1 EU a tick to over 100 to about 60 almost 70 EU a tick, since we're working at about 70% efficiency. And for some random reason, the steam is now visible in the Buildcraft pipes. So I just wanted to hop back in and show you real fast. And that is the goad pipes that feed the industrial pipes, or the industrial steam engine with steam. For some reason I thought the industrial steam engine could produce a little bit more power than that, but it's not using up all the steam, so I'm not sure what's going on here. But anyway, I think I've got a nice, happy little power system that generates more power than really I should be needing to take around with me, but I've almost got it 500 degrees Celsius, which I'm going to take as a personal turning the corner, because at that point it should be cheap enough to keep running that I'm not going to really notice it too much more. Just as I hit more oil wells, I'll just cap them, supply the oil in here, uh, and just basically use my excess steam engine to refine the oil. And I should be a should be netting energy, because I should be refining oil faster than I'm burning it once I've heated up well enough. So that's my power setup. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time.